What are you doing
No.
for Halloween anyway? What's your plans?
Ooh.
You first.
Aye.
You go first, yeah?
So I am going to a local garden centre which has a Halloween walk, and I'm going to get the kids nice and scared. They're going to dress up. I'm also going to dress up. And then tomorrow evening we are going to my parents' house, and they're going to have a gazebo set up to give out hot dogs to the kids, like with buns, ketchup, onions, blah blah blah. They're not just getting sweeties, but they can have something nice too.
Hmm.
And then taking the kids trick or treating around there a bit.
Can't argue with that. Sounds wonderful. For Halloween this year, my childs are the young one is going to go around the village. What we used to call guising, which is now referred to as trick or treating.
Aye.
He's going as Shaun from Shaun of the Dead because he quite liked it when I done that and he thought that was cool. Plus, he gets to take the axe with him, which he quite likes. He prefers that to the cricket bat. This is the first time he's ever gone. We've offered loads of times to take him. He's like, nah, I'm not interested. And then this year, because his friends want to go, he's like, oh yeah, I'll do that now. Like, okay, cool. And the big one, he is going to his girlfriend's
Wait,
in a nearby village.
he's got a bird?
Got a wee bird, Dan.
Respect.
So he's away to lose his virginity tomorrow behind the bike shed.
How it should be on Halloween night.
Fucking bit, I'm not. So yeah, he's away to the nearby village with her. They're going to go. I think they're going to go trick or treating, and then I think there's like a thing for them to go to. And I'm pretty sure he's coming back. That bit was unclear. They're like, oh, he's going to this, then he's going straight from school to her house, and then they're going to go trick or treating. And then it seemed to be kind of nebulous what they were doing next. And I was like, But I'm assuming he's going to come back here. And he was at his Halloween disco at school last night. And you know what?
Nice.
He came second. And I was furious. I was like, what do you mean he came second? If I do a costume, you come first. So I demanded to see a picture of the person that came first so I could judge it, and he didn't have one. But I can only assume it was a fix because obviously I was involved in the costume and it was amazing.
What did he go as?
He went as a Ghostbuster. To be fair, I wouldn't give him a proton pack because it's very heavy and uncomfortable, and I'm sure he would break it. So I think if I gave him that, he probably would have won. But also, it is a heavy ass, uncomfortable thing that I wouldn't expect him to wear.
Do you know
So,
what
yeah.
the person that actually won, what their costume was?
He went as a firebender from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I'm sorry, but that is so shit. See, if you come as a weeb, you should be like put down the bottom.
I'm assuming the kid was getting bullied so much they had to let him win because otherwise, like, he was just getting beaten up the whole night. Because although in fairness, Avatar I believe is an American anime. It's not actually a Japanese anime.
Still anime.
Just throwing that one out there, mate. All our
Still
viewer
anime.
will get really upset if we.
All our viewer.
All our viewer will get very upset if we get those kind of things factually incorrect. What about you, Logan? What are you doing for Halloween?
Well, I'm not going out for trick or treating because I'm a bit too old for that, I'd say. But
I don't think so.
I'm going out this Saturday out clubbing as Cliff Booth from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So basically Brad Pitt. That's why I've kind of cut my hair a bit shorter than usual. So it's literally just a Hawaiian t-shirt, jeans, and that's it.
Nice.
And aviators.
So your regular wardrobe then.
Pretty much.
Which Hawaiian shirt did you go for? You went for a colourful one? Is it a darker one?
So he wears like a bright yellow one with mountains on it. So I ordered this on a Chinese website, and when it got here, it was like the shirt was pixelated. Like you couldn't tell like it was mountains. It just looked like blobs, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And it cost me about £20, but I'm like, I want my £20 back. So I emailed them and they kept saying, oh, we'll give you half off, we'll give you half your money back. I was like, no, I want my good £20 back. But long story short, got my money back, and then Amazon started to sell the shirt, and I got it the same day, which I was surprised.
Well, I actually discovered something because you know I'd done Billy the Butcher from The Boys a couple of years ago for Comic Con and stuff. I did not know how expensive good Hawaiian shirts were. I just assumed like, oh, they'll just cost like 20, 30. No. you can buy one, like you said, 20, 30 quid, but they're like terrible material
Mhm.
and they're not very well printed. If you want actual
It's
good
like
ones, you're
50.
talking a minimum of 50 quid.
Mhm.
Although eventually, Primark, whatever it's called,
Mhm.
started doing one, and it's black, and it's I forget the name of the material, but basically they've made synthetic silk now, which
Yeah.
actually it feels kind of nice for a while. So yeah, they've got a kind of nice
Cotton.
one. Only costs like 17 quid or something, which I was quite impressed by. I've never wear it for a full day though, because I've noticed with the synthetic materials, after a couple hours, all of a sudden you get really sweaty and your skin starts to feel weird. But you know, I was quite impressed. So yeah, Hawaiian shirts surprisingly expensive.
Aye, because I bought one for when I went to Transmit. Because I thought, oh, I'll just wear a Hawaiian shirt. It'd be fun, nice, hot
Hmm.
weather and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it cost me about 55 quid. I was like,
Oh,
fucking
easy,
hell.
aye.
So I'm keeping
Yeah, it's
that
not.
for a good while.
It's one of these things. If you're ever doing any cosplay, you'll discover that the things you don't expect to cost a lot of money will cost a lot of money.
Hmm.
Shoes, shirts, that kind of stuff cost a fortune. But anything that's kind of screen accurate as well. But there you go.
Do you know what I've just realised? I just realised we've just ignored the fact that Sally's makeup. I mean,
I thought we were just gonna ignore that. Okay, yeah, cool.
well, that's usually her everyday makeup routine, but yeah. So
But
what
she
is the
was
makeup?
Yeah.
That just
from the. Is it not the Sally girl from Nightmare Before Christmas? But kind of part of it.
All my kids said that. I'm like sort of half Jack, half Sally. But it's just like skeleton makeup, so it just
Mm.
darkened my eyes,
I thought it was
made
like
myself have
stitches.
cheekbones. It is. It's like skeleton teeth with the stitches on the side. Is it really?
Friend, yeah.
Just
Uh,
just
no,
thought it would
I
be
think it looks cool. It's
fun
creepy,
and
yeah.
festive.
If I'd known we were doing it, I would have put like some effort into
I
doing
was
a
actually
Halloween thing.
I was going to
It
mention it.
was yeah. It was just because it's Halloween tomorrow, so I thought, why not make an effort?
That's true.
Yeah,
It's
Which
just
why
a bit
not?
of
Indeed,
makeup. It'll wash off
I'm
in a
with it.
minute.
which this episode will be out in Halloween, hopefully. But right,
It's Halloween today.
got to start with the film news so we can get that done with, right?
Okay.
So there's one director. This surprised me. So there's one director who liked Joker 2. Do you know who it would be?
Martin Scorsese,
No,
Tim Burton.
no,
Steven Spielberg,
no.
uh,
Right,
the Duffer Brothers.
we'll be here all day, right? Sally, do you want to answer and he is another answer.
Is it the Henry Selick
Who? Henry Selick?
guy that directed Coraline?
Oh, no. It's Quentin Tarantino.
Oh,
Quentin Tarantino. I just to be no, I've not even got it. To be fair, there. What
So
do you mean Quentin Tarantino liked it? Shut up.
no, he praises Joker 2 and he says Joaquin Phoenix gives one of the best performances he's ever seen in his life. It's a fuck you to comic book geeks in Hollywood. I don't know what to
Well,
write about that.
I actually did read something about the Joker 2 debacle. Actually, it might have been you that talked about this, Logan. Is it basically they were angry that so many people took the wrong message from the first movie? The same people that take, like, Rick Sanchez is the hero, Joker's the hero, like Arthur Fleck's the hero. They
Mhm.
always seem to take these person that are meant to be. Like, we talked about this with, like, Bateman. That, oh, he's so cool and slick.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, he's fucking, he's pathetic. He's a joke. Like, everything he's doing is wrong and terrible and stupid. And it's meant to show you what can happen to people if, like, no one treats them right, that they fall apart and do, like, terrible things. And they're like, oh, no, he's cool. He's standing up against the man. It's like, no, he's just murdering innocent people. So that's what that movie was. It seems like an expensive way to make that point, though. Like, maybe just fund education or, like schools instead. Don't
Mhm.
spend a lot of money on a film with Lady Gaga in it. And also, do we need a fuck you
he was
to?
the most expensive part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need a really
I haven't
expensive?
seen it. I've not even seen the
I've still
first
not
Joker,
watched.
so
I hated the first Joker. Thought it was terrible, and I'm never gonna watch the second one unless I have no other options. Like,
Yeah.
literally, I mean, like, it's just me left on Earth, and there's a TV, and all that's left is the Joker too. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm watching this.
So another thing was Robert Downey Jr. refuses to let Hollywood create his AI digital replica. He said, I intend to sue all future executives who recreate my likeness.
I think that's a smart idea. I think that we need to be really careful with this because in the short time this AI stuff's been available, it has came on leaps and bounds. Give it another 5, 10, 15 years and you'll be able to type into like the thing, make me a movie starring RDJ and Scarlett Johansson with it. It'll just spit out a movie at you. You'll be like, well, this is like a 90-minute movie. Like this is like I couldn't tell this was real or not. So I think they should absolutely like copyright their licenses and just make it like a massive crime because you're stealing their identity effectively.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know. I think I said this before, but the boy that done the elderly man that done Darth Vader and Mufasa, he sold his voice. James Earl Jones. He sold his voice to Disney so they could keep him voicing it. But I'm like, why could you not just find someone that can do a voice? Like, why does it have him forever? Like, so nothing new will be created. We've reached the peak of like acting and civilization and entertainment. So from now on, we literally have to do nothing new. Just use the performance RDJ done in this movie and this new movie. Like that's pathetic. Sorry, that was my thoughts.
What's your thoughts on it, Sally?
I think it's clever on his part to refuse it because eventually they'll sort of make actors obsolete with that sort of stuff, and it's not the way forward. Like there is nothing that can show a human emotion like a human can. Doesn't matter how well you've put in the zeros and ones, it's not going to work. So, and I also I don't think CGI is as great as, like we've spoken about this before, like the old films where they had to make the little props and the camera angles and stuff. CGI cannot replicate that. And I don't think that they could do that with humans either.
I think to add on to that point there as well is that actors bring a certain something. Like an actor, a good actor, will go and sit and think about what drives that character. So they might come up with something. They might add something to that. Like you're basically getting rid of improvisation. Like, and how often do you hear them say, "Oh, RDJ improvised this," Jim Carrey improvised that on the spot. You're just taking all that away, and you're just having this director's one vision. But like, you're taking away collaboration at this point because it's like not you speak. I mean, the three of us. Imagine if this podcast was just Logan. Like, I feel like it'd be less entertaining. Like,
so again, to make on from that, take on from it, if the same director was to put in the same like quotes or the same people or whatever it is to make the AI, they would all be very similar. So it's like you can always tell when it's a Tim Burton film. So could you imagine if all films were then made by 2 or 3 directors? Yeah.
And then imagine it'd be a diluted version because how long before they become lazy? Yeah. Like they start giving like less and less into it because who cares? If no, the whole point of like doing a group project is that you're meant to like pour a lot of yourself into it. But are you going to do that eventually when you know it doesn't matter? Yeah, it's a slippery slope, and I personally don't think it's going to matter because I think this is what people think we want, but this is not what we want. Like, you don't want to go to a live show and a screen comes down and a virtual band comes out and then they play and then you walk out. No, like you want to be there and like feel the emotion of the people. Write about things that have happened to them, not what a group of executives think the kids want to hear. You imagine, oh my god, imagine that. A bunch of fucking people my age deciding what kids want these days. How long do you think before that industry completely collapses in itself? So yeah.
So mother, so this is the last part of the film news of this month, week, whatever you want to call it. Marlon Wayans posts on Twitter.
Marlon Wayans. Fuck it, yeah, close enough, mate. Aye.
Wayans posted on Twitter saying that they are back after nearly 20 years by returning to the Scary Movie franchise. It was about time.
Sally, you got anything for that?
Are they not just overdone it?
Well, when would they stop being influenced? Can I get a key,
Scary
please?
Movie 2 was the
Thank
last
you,
time
baby.
they ever done it.
So just to clarify, there was a Scary Movie 3, 4, and 5. Is that correct?
I think there was a 6 and all, but yeah.
Right. Okay.
So the reason why they didn't get involved with like the third film was because Marlon claimed it was swiftly snatched by the Weinstein Company. That is the reason why it didn't happen with them in it.
I can believe that. Okay, I mean, parody movies are as good as the people making them. If it's some good writers who are funny
Mm-hmm.
that are doing stuff, great. If it's not, then is it going to be any good? I don't know. I mean, were they ever any good? The
Aye.
first one was okay. The
So
second was alright.
these are the guys that did White Chicks, isn't it?
Aye.
White Chicks. I'm gonna get you, sucker. Was their older brother.
Yeah.
Don't be a menace to
So
society. Don't think you're just in the hood. That was them.
yeah. So like 90s, early 2000s sense of humor does not fit well with today's sense of humor. So
Mhm.
if they are not going to come forward with that, they will get cancelled very quickly.
I don't think they
Whereas
would get cancelled. Just because
Um,
I know Mal I think they're very aware on what the audience is nowadays.
yeah. I mean,
did
I hate it.
you?
I think White Chicks is hilarious, and I really did enjoy that film.
Yeah.
I still quote bits and bobs from it today. But yeah, I don't think that the humor will be the same. And for us that grew up with it
Yeah.
as part of their like childhood, teenage years,
Mhm.
whatever, I think it won't be made for us. It'll be made for like Logan and like now 18, 19-year-olds, 15-year-olds.
Yeah. I mean, again, like everything, it's got the potential to be good depending on what they're putting into it, but they could just be, I mean, maybe. Also, it might parody a bunch of stuff that I've not seen. If it parodies a lot of like youth culture today, I won't get any of it.
Well,
I'm like,
that
Yeah,
was
me either.
my other thing was there's a lot that, like, compared to what let's say horror for the past 10 years, all you're getting is AI horror flicks with, well, no, sorry, no AI, I mean technology, like the rebooted the Chucky series, the Chucky films with a robotic version of Chucky instead. And then you've got
oh, did they take out like the demon possession, like the soul possession?
aye. So I watched the reboot. Mark
Fuck's
Hamill, Mark Hamill
Uh-huh.
voices Chucky in it, and it was like
All right.
basically a technology version. Megan and all, that was a big one. That's getting a sequel as well, which I'm kind of
I think
surprised,
that
but
done
it was good.
quite well though. I
Yeah.
think people liked that.
Um.
She does the TikTok dance, which I think people quite enjoyed.
Aye, that's true. I think it got the audience it wanted. So I can see it being scary
Teenage
movie.
girls.
I can see it being good, but no as good as what you'd think about with the humor like the first two films.
Thank you, Ella.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know.
okay,
We'll have to just wait and see. We can't really judge it right now.
can I just ask? Did you watch Meg and Sally?
No.
Me three gan. I was gonna watch it. And I just forgot to watch it.
Mhm.
Logan, did you watch it? Was it
I
any good?
watched it.
Like it looked alright.
I seen it in the cinema. It was good. It was pretty fun. It
Mhm.
is kind of cringy at times, but
Kind of the
the
point though, isn't it?
the ending's really good. To be fair,
Because there's a few that kind of passed me by. There's one I think it was about a spider or something that was like living in events or something like that. That looked too scary. I couldn't handle it because it was a spider. Like I can't watch that.
shite bag.
Yeah. Oh no, thank you. There's a couple that came out that involved like creepy crawly things. I'm like, that looks scary. I can't watch it. See ghosts, no problem.
Mhm.
But as soon as it's like, oh, it's got like 5 legs, no thanks. I'll never watch that because that's too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, great. I'm glad those guys are working. Did you look up what the last thing they'd done was?
Oh, was it the full
What's the
family?
fuck? Okay, I'll look it up.
Or I thought he knew and he was like, guess.
No, I
Testing
thought
you.
you were.
It was a
No.
Netflix movie.
Okay. Wayne's family we got here. Okay, that's da. Papa's house. That'll be the one you're thinking of then, yeah?
I think so. It was like I think Marlon Wayne.
It is Damon and Damon Wayans Jr. So it's not Marlon at all, no.
Alright, so it might not be the same thing then.
No. I know
Naked.
Damon Wayans Jr. He's got some bunch of stuff. Where's the other guy? Where's Keenan Ivory Wayans? What the hell? Oh, okay, I know who he is. Marlon, that's the one I was thinking of. Like, he's 52.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I think he's got like tons of kids and all.
Just out of interest, he's only got 3. Okay, he has done. Okay, it just looks like kind of generic bullshit, to be honest. Oh, he's done On the Rocks. That's got oh, it's by Sophia Coppola. That's kind of cool, and it's got a friend of the pod, Bill Murray on it.
Sextuplets.
Yeah.
That's the thing I
Okay.
thought
Yeah.
of it.
I looked at a bunch of stuff. Yeah, he's just in some kind of like mid-range comedy movie. So there's nothing that's made me thinking, oh, this will be really good. It's more like, this is just him clawing to get some money. You know what? Good for him. I hope it does well.
What film were we starting in?
Well, seeing as you both hated it, let's just get mine out the way, I
Yeah,
suppose.
you know what? Fuck, leave it. Let's get it out of the way. Oh wait, Sally didn't like it either.
Oh, I said she hated it. I thought she'd have liked it because
I found it really slow.
That's
Right.
the point, yeah.
And I didn't like the dude with no beard because I was so used to seeing him in Lord of the Rings with his nice chiseled jaw and his like wavy hair, looking all handsome and everything. And then there he was, baby faced and weird, like coffin teeth. It was really weird. And I was just like, yeah. And then I guessed the plot as well before it ended, and I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Was it what was the plot to guess? I mean, it was very clearly he was the guy they were talking about.
Mention what film you thought about, because you didn't mention.
So this is The History of Violence.
The History of Violence.
2005 film starring Viggo Mortensen and a bunch of other guys that are famous as well. Ed Harris. William Hurt was in it, who, by the way, I didn't even recognise that was William Hurt.
Is William Hurt in it?
He's his brother. See at the end, that guy that looks familiar. That's
Aye.
William Hurt. And it's because he was like, he's skinnied up, because I always remember him later in his career when he kind of like, he squares out and he always looks kind of, I also remember his Thunderbolt Ross from like the Avengers movies. So he's always like kind of like well cut looking and like big. And in that, he was kind of a bit softer.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that. So anyway, yeah. So they were in it. Plus, his wife was played by Maria Bella. Bella, is that? Yeah, Bello. Sorry, famous lesbian. So anyway, yeah, these are the people in the movie. It was done by Cronenberg, David Cronenberg. Now, do you guys know what Cronenberg is mainly famous for, or was previously famous for?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does like really fucked up horror movies, where like really fucked up things happen to people. And you see a bit of it in this movie. See when he fights the guys in the diner, and he like mashes that one guy's face. At the beginning, that was the bit I was like, Cronenberg, there we go. That's him done the thing he needs to do. Because I was like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love History of Violence. It was it wasn't what I meant. I thought it was. The one I actually wanted to watch was Eastern Promise. But I like the fact that it was slow, and I like the fact that it was like kind of looking at this guy's life. Like he was a violent man, and then he like obviously done what he done, and then he ran away, and then he just found this other way of being, which I thought was great.
You know, there was one thing that I got really confused till I just realised who the actual actor was. See the agent is kind of blind in one eye.
Ed Harris, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was Thingmate played Robocop, and then I realised, oh no, that's the guy for Truman Show. Because they look so similar, and I was like, oh my god.
In fairness, they do have a similarity between. They have like they look very American.
Yeah.
And like their face, they're kind of they're kind of similar looking. I'm trying to remember the guy that played Robocop's name. It's escaping me right now. And if we ever have a viewer, they'll be shouting at us right now. But he was also played Buckaroo Bonanza. If anyone knows what that is.
Peter Weller.
Peter Weller. I should have known that straight away. But yeah, like I enjoyed the movie, and then, like he kind of passed the violence on to his son, but he tried to get his son to like not do that kind of thing. So then the son just unleashes in that bully in school, which I thought was great.
That scene was good in the shotgun scene. Like Find Me's on the grunt, and like Ed Harris. Is it Ed Harris? Is about to kill him, and then the son's got the shotgun and blasts a bullet in his back. I was like, oh, what's that?
I think, I mean, when I read about what Cronenberg was doing, basically this was a comic it was based on, and it says that Vigo was actually he signed on to the movie, and then he read the comic, and he's like, "Oh, this is not good. It's like this is just mayhem for like 120 pages. Like I'm not sure if I want to be in this." But then Cronenberg was like, "No, I've rewrote the whole thing. I've taken out a lot of this stuff because I don't want it to be like a comic book movie with like glorifying ultra violence. It's just been like one man that is very, very, very good at violence that doesn't really want to do that anymore. But like every time like Vigo had to be violent, like holy fuck, like you fucked you killed those motherfuckers. But
What did you all think of the sex scene
At the top of the
in the
staircase.
stairs?
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But then see when it cuts to the next scene, he's in the bedroom, and that's when you just see her naked. I was like,
yeah, he's got the muff out and everything. Like, oh my goodness.
and I'm like, wait,
Okay.
so
Also,
there's
how
nothing
good
seen
shape was
there?
she in, by the way?
Eh,
Them?
I have some fun facts about the sex scene. Two things happened. First of all, Cronenberg was very worried that they would get injured on the stairs because it was just stairs and it was quite rough.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, you might get bruised." So he asked the stunt guy to put some mats down, and the stunt guy laughed. It was like, "I don't have sex mats to put on the stairs. Like, no one's ever asked me for that before, and I don't know how we would do it. So, no." But Maria Bella did get bruises down her back. So see the next scene when she's got her muff out, she actually had to get makeup all over her back because she did get bruises from getting pumped off Vigo in the stairs. So that happened, which I thought that's a real shame. Poor Maria. Did it surprise that he went back to her at the end? Like she seemed like she was kicking him out a whole lot, but she's also like
yeah.
like she's like.
Yeah, see, I found that dynamic so weird between the two of them because, like, I'm all for everybody's got a past, and be angry at him because he's not told you the truth, and technically your marriage ain't real, and neither are your kids' like birth certificates and stuff. Yeah. But unless you're gonna turn around and be like, "Yep, I'm out. See you later," you can't then hold it against him because you've chosen to now stay with him.
Well, that's what threw me because it's like it did appear that if she told him to go, it looks like he would have went. Like the impression I was getting is he didn't want to go, but if she's like, "Nah, I can't do this," she'd have went. So was she accepting it or not? Because she never said she was. She just seemed like really upset. That threw me the whole way through the film. It's like I don't know what the message is here. Like, should he leave or not? Because he comes back after he's murdered more people, but like he had to go and do that because they were threatening his family. So that was weird. Oh, also, other fun fact about the sex scene on the stairs. Did you think it came across as a bit rapey?
Yes.
Right. Now, Cronenberg was not happy about that either. And he said that the reason he gets them to kiss at the beginning of it is because he wanted to imply that she was kind of into it. But that's, again, not the message I got for the rest of the movie. Like, it seems like she's not into it. So she's shagging him because she's feared of what he's going to do if she doesn't.
Yeah.
Or is it saying that she's kind of like now falling in love with super fucking violent, I forget the guy's name, it's Stahl or something, but the Joey or something's like the other name. Like that. Yeah, and I was like, that's weird. But like the director didn't think this. I'm like, okay, I guess it wasn't rapey.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, she's the one that starts it though.
So I think there was mixed messages
there.
there.
Because he kind of pulls her trousers down very aggressively. So, like, yes, you can kiss somebody, but it doesn't necessarily lead to sex.
He does also pump
and then
her,
the fact that it was... Where were the kids?
Oh, mum and dad are
like, are they not going to just turn around into the stairwell like, oh, shit?
oh. In fairness, right,
they're at it again.
Movie, she did come out with her cheerleader costume, so I think it was implied that they had quite like a kind of like adventurous sex life. Yeah, like they're into some stuff because again, like it's the cheerleader outfit, so like she's not just went and got that. That's like a thing they've been doing. So maybe that was an aspect of it. I don't know. Again, it's just I didn't know what to make of it. But the director's like, no, that's fine. So that was cool. What did you think of the actual violence, the choreography in that? Do you think he looked like do you think it was done well or?
No, it was cheesy as fuck, man.
Really? Because that's
I think it was good for the. I feel like it was very Roadhouse-esque.
Yeah.
I'm totally...
Was it the same choreographer that did Roadhouse?
I never actually looked up the choreographer, but what Cronenberg wanted it to be like much more grounded and real, because there was a point, I forget what he was meant to do. He was meant to do something, and he was like, no, that's too ridiculous. So yeah, he took a lot of stuff, but he said it was meant to be realistic. He gets shot twice, and he does seems to like be like, yeah, that's fine, because he gets shot in the foot once. It just keeps going. I'm like, if I got shot in the foot, I'm pretty sure I would burst into tears and fall over. And then later he gets shot in the chest, and he's like, yep, that's fine. I'm just gonna keep the Terminator about the place. I'm like, that's not really that grounded. I did like the violence. I also like this when he stamped on that guy's neck at the end. I was like, oh fuck. Like I out loud went, oh fuck. That looked sore. Like, the poor guy had his wee neck broken and that. Also when he went to garrote him and he like caught the wire, I'm like, that's pretty badass. Like I liked all that stuff. I thought the violence was really well done. And I liked the slow bits because I felt like when the explosions had to happen, I was like, yeah, you shouldn't fuck with this guy. I'm surprised they even went looking for him. They must have known how violent he was. He's the last guy I'd go looking for.
The thing
Um,
annoyed me, and I don't know if it got anyone, but it was the bit Ed Harris is meant to be going to their house, and he and Vigo like phones the wife and says, "Oh, get the shotgun." So she's like run down the stairs with the shotgun, and then when Vigo gets
He
there,
gets there first.
he gets there first, right? But it's not like that. Next minute cuts to the son's just eating cereal. I'm like, you're seeing all this happening, and you're sitting on your fucking ass eating cereal, and you're not going to question it. But
I
then
want to know this. I know this is what I said to Syria because we watched it together. I went and like when it cuts to him, and at the end of the film when the son shoots him, I'm like, and that is how Mike Myers was made. I was like, it's like the sequel was then Halloween. It's like the kid's fucked up. There's no denying it.
It's gonna be a real issue with the like you did kill a bunch of people on your property, so like I guess you phoned the police and they were just cool with it. You know, it's like I feel like that's gonna be an issue. Again, it's a movie. You know, you got to let things slide. Like I feel like nowadays it'd be more like you'd have to see them like burying the bodies in a field or something. But you think even the sheriff who knew what was going on would have some questions to ask. They're like, hey man, those guys that were bothering you, they just all disappeared.
I felt like it was actually set almost like the 80s, 70s, 80s rather than a newer one because like the phones were still on the wall and corded. There was no technology sort of for 2000. What was it? 2005.
It was 2004. It was set in, which actually is a really valid point. I always forget that in films. Like 2004, you'd have had mobiles.
2005.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the movie was set in 2004.
Alright.
Biatch.
So I was 15 when that came out, and I remember having a Pebble. Remember the Pebbles that were the first like coloured phones? I remember having one of them, and that being like a camera phone and everything like that. So all these things would have still been around then.
So yeah, no, yeah, you're absolutely right. Now you mention it, yeah, I think it's one of these things. The original comic was probably set like in the early 90s, and then they updated it, but didn't actually update any of the content. Oh yeah, we'll just set it in 2004, and we'll forget that all technology exists, which is valid because it's like even in 2004, like there's a lot of internet stuff kind of floating about as well. Like, but again, like I think people overlook stuff in the films. But yeah, fair enough. So you guys didn't like it,
and
I did. Yeah.
You know when they first do the news report on him, and he's just stood there, face exposed and everything. There was not one part of him that was like, "No, I don't want this. No, it's fine." It was just a case of, "Yep, that's what I did." There was no like trying to hide his face. So I'm like, if you're in witness protection,
it's like grow a beard and shave your head. You know, so something. Yeah. Don't look exactly the same as you did. He wasn't wit sick. He was just just ran away with all the money and then hid. You know, also could have easily been resolved if he just moved to Canada. Like, why did you just move like a couple hours away from Philly, which is partly what he done? Oh no, he said like 15 hours away. To be fair, that doesn't seem far enough though. So William Hurt did get an Oscar nod for his 10 minutes of screen time. He didn't win, but he got it. So there you go. So that was almost an Oscar-winning movie. Also one of the last movies to be released on VHS. So there's
really?
2 other fun facts. Yeah. So apparently, somebody claimed it was the last movie to be released on VHS, but I couldn't find confirmation of that, so I just went with one of the last movies.
Well, Lee, That's got to change because you know it's got to be the last VHS tape that's got to be released.
Alien Romulus.
Yep.
Yeah, you told me.
That's weird.
Thought I may as well
I
put
like
it
it.
for the viewers though.
Yeah.
That's
That's a
still
fun
weird.
one. It's weird, but I get why they're doing it. People like retro stuff. People have been like getting retro technology for a while now because like people think things used to be better in the 80s when they were absolutely not better at all. They were
Vinyls.
much worse. Okay, we'll see as no one liked. I'll just do my last couple of fun facts. Do you want to know some other David Cronenberg films that you might have seen?
Yeah.
The Fly
No.
with Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, I love that. Which one? The original or the one with the dude from Jurassic Park?
The Jeff Goldblum one, the one
what-
from the
that's
80s.
what
Because
they
again,
said.
David, yeah, because of course it was. I mean, David Cronenberg is not that old. He was not directing movies in the 50s with Vincent Price in them. Like he would
Who
have to be
knows?
100. He is old, but he's not that old. He also done Scanners. If you know Scanners.
No.
God damn, you are young as fuck. Okay, you definitely would know this movie then. There's a James Woods movie called Videodrome. Logan,
I've
you're
seen
a
that.
student of film. Yeah,
No, I
you should
haven't.
know
I
this.
haven't actually seen it. I've heard of it.
Uh,
But I've not seen it.
I have only seen Videodrome once, and I seen it on BBC Two, and it was like when they were showing you kind of cult classics. And it's a movie where James Wood puts a gun in a pouch inside his own body, and then later on pulls it out and shoots people with it. And that's my only memory of the film, because I remember it, even as a child, being like, fucked up. Like, I don't know what to do about that. But yep, he's just done that, and then whoop. He also done Existence and a bunch of other kind of crap movies throughout the decades as well, but like none of them seem worth mentioning.
I don't know why I thought he done Cocoon. I don't know why that came to my mind for him.
That was absolutely did not do Cocoon though. Cocoon, I think, was it not Spielberg or was it not? Quickly
You
Google
have
Cocoon.
technology at the end of your
I think
fingertips, guys.
Spielberg was a producer. Or
Oh,
a
it's Ron Howard. Ron Howard done Cocoon, and it was produced by people who don't know. Yeah, Ron Howard done Cocoon. There you go. That's a weird thing.
So what
Could've known it.
what are we rating this film?
Well, I enjoyed it very much. What's our rating system, Ian? What do we use?
I don't know.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yeah.
Do not do thumbs up because sometimes your computer gives us a thumb up.
Yeah, wait. No, I'm not doing a thumbs up because I'm not giving this one a thumbs up. I'm
Well, you
going
do a thumbs down then.
down.
Thumbs down. Boo.
Oh, it worked, it worked.
He's done it.
Hey.
Why is yours the only one that does it?
I
It's
don't
so
know
weird.
why.
Well,
Do
you've
you
got a
pay
Mac,
for
have you not?
Discord or something?
No, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know why this works. It's so weird. I'm gonna use my thumbs up later on.
That does a thing with you. Yep.
So,
was it say the?
would you rewatch it?
I probably
No.
wouldn't rewatch it because it was, as I said, it was actually the wrong movie. It was Eastern Promise I wanted to watch. They are, in my defense, both star Viggo Mortensen. Both were directed by David Cronenberg, and they came out within a couple of years of each other. And they're both movies kind of about violence. But in the other one, he's a gangster in London. And I only want to make you watch that movie because the ending sequence is fucking amazing. But I don't want to ruin it for you by telling you what it is, so I'm not going to tell you.
Is
But I'm not going to make
I didn't
your
watch
pick
it.
next time?
I'm not going to make you watch that next time. I'll save that one for later because I feel like making you watch two movies you potentially might not like in a row is not the best idea.
Yeah, enough.
Did Sam enjoy it, Sally?
I think so. Yeah, he seemed to enjoy it. He sat through it.
He sat there the whole time going, "Oh shit."
He's looking at it a pity for you, Lee, because we both didn't like it.
He seemed to be quite excited to watch it. I actually thought you would enjoy it, Logan. I'm surprised you didn't. Sally, I thought, this isn't her kind of thing.
No, honestly, like I don't know. I was
mean, she
kind of
picked-
surprised with it myself. I was like, nah, I don't like this.
Oh, there is a fun fact about this movie that Sally will enjoy. The motel in the movie is the motel from Schitt's Creek.
Just didn't seem
There you
excited.
go. I think, well, Sally's you're a Schitt's Creek fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I like Shakespeare. Oh.
No? Something you likes that? I wonder who I'm mixing you up with. Oh, well,
You don't like Shit's
Dunno.
Creek?
maybe
I've
it's
not
Logan
seen
likes
it.
Oh, it's
of course.
What is it?
class.
I actually hate it. I think it's terrible.
Is it a TV show or a film?
Yeah, it's a
It's a great
comedy.
TV show.
It's like a 7-part. It's like a 7-season comedy film that I've tried to. I think I've watched 3 seasons of it. I'm like, when does this get good? Because people rave about it all the
Yeah.
time. I do like the actors in it, to be fair, which I think is what carries it. Like, I like them a lot more than I like what's happening.
I mean, Eugene Levy. Just
Okay,
himself.
let me just clarify, Schitt's Creek.
Shit's
Shitts.
Shitts.
Yeah.
Because that's
Right,
what their
okay.
name is. They're like, it's like Dave Shit, and that was the joke. Is it Shit's Creek? Actually, I don't think they're
Like Meet the
surnames. Is it Shit?
Fuckers.
No,
They had to
just bought it.
find.
The Shits family.
No, I don't think they are the Shits.
Yeah,
family.
so there will be a family with that name somewhere because that's like the loophole with getting like swears in
Oh, yeah.
titles. Like Meet the Fuckers, they had to find somebody with Fuckers as last name.
Yeah.
Um,
There
for them
was
to be able to
No,
name their film that
the
way.
last name's Rose. I think Shit's Creek's the village. Well,
yeah.
whatever you want
Shit's
to call
Creek
it.
is definitely the name. That's what the place is called, Shit's Creek. And the joke and the thing is that they get to keep it. They lose all their money. This happens in the first episode, and the only asset they're allowed to keep is Shit's Creek. And they only bought it because it was a joke, because it was like it's a funny word. But then they own a town that they just never go to, and then they have to deal with this shitty town. Anyway, that's fine. Shit's Creek. Don't watch it, or do. I don't care.
It's enjoyable.
That's all I've
Is
got.
that
Okay.
it?
Yep, nobody else. So nobody liked it. Fine, fuck yous.
There you go, Sally.
We like you though, Lee. It's fine. My turn.
Yep.
Yeah. So my pick was Coraline. Obviously it's a like children's horror film. So it's about a little girl that moves house and somehow gets teleported to the other side, and her other mother's there and her other father, and it just turns out to be a really creepy experience for the girl, and she ends up scared and terrifying. So I'm sorry, Lee, I didn't know that you were scared of spiders, so I apologise for that.
Technically, there's no spiders in it.
The rest. I don't really remember being particularly scared. It's like, no, see, like photorealistic spiders. I'm scared of them. See, like kind of like, animated spiders, not so much.
Plasticine spiders. It's all good.
Yeah, it was like the film Arachnophobia with those spiders. I'm scared of those spiders.
Yeah.
But anyway, continue.
So so Coraline was actually a spelling mistake. So the author of the book was writing the name Caroline and misspelt it as Coraline, and his instant thought was, oh, actually this is a story of someone. I don't know what the story is yet, but I'm sort of post-it noting that, and carries on, and then finally makes the book, which is actually based in England, in Hampshire, which is where I live. So he's made this story about this girl who, in his story, is actually schizophrenic.
Oh.
Yes. The cat obviously is in everything, and that's her guide. That's her guide into the other world and into the new world, like proper world. And did you know that YB was not in the book at all? He was made as a character for Coraline to have somebody to talk to, because otherwise it would have just been a film about her talking to herself.
Oh, so YB was a real person, but in the book didn't exist. Interesting. I think the cat was also based. I think it was voiced by Keith David. But yeah, that was my first thing I picked up on when I was watching the credits. Like, hey, I know all these people. All these people are English, which is what threw me, because you're Ian McShane. I think they're all doing accents now. I think about it, but like they're all English actors.
The film is based in Wisconsin, I think it is. And the actual story book is based in England, in Hampshire. So I don't know why they changed it. I guess it's to Americanize the film. Disney as well. So
was that a Disney film? I didn't even realize that.
No, so it was meant to be a Disney film, but the person who was running Disney at the time didn't want it to be dark. They wanted it to be a Disney film.
Right.
So Coraline was sort of the last straw for the director to be involved with Disney. That's when he came away, because it was actually meant to be a Pixar film.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not anything to do with Disney now.
So do you know what company owns Coraline? Because it seems like
I'm terrible with these things.
Obviously, it's not
Laika, Laika, Laika Studios.
I've never actually heard of that one before.
Let's have a look.
They sold all their props, so all their props for their films and everything. They actually sold them all,
Right.
which was really weird. And I think a Coraline prop went for $50,000.
Right. I actually know who these guys are because they've done a bunch of things that I very much like. That's interesting. Okay. Because I was gonna compare it to something else, but like see the weird. I always find that type of like stop motion like movement terrifying because their bodies don't move right. They're moving in very odd ways, but that's meant to add things to it. It's meant like that kind of give it that otherworldly feeling to it because everything moves weird and wrong. But I really liked Coraline. I didn't think I was gonna. I thought I was gonna get bored, and I didn't. I didn't even look at my phone much during it, which I usually look at my phone or I wander off and like make a sandwich and then come back. I didn't. I sat through all of Coraline. I thought the story was real scary. Like the fact this was made for children baffled me. But now that I know the other movies these guys have, this company has done as well, it makes a lot more sense because I've seen some of those other films and they are pretty fucked up and like a bit deep and dark.
Yeah. So the director is Henry Selick.
I'd imagine Henry Selick.
I'm terrible with names. Selick, yeah. He's done James and the Giant Peach, which again has a sort of sinister undertone to it.
Absolutely.
Nightmare Before Christmas, and my favourite was Monkey Bone.
Monkey Bone, which is weird because that is dog shit.
I actually have a fun fact about A Nightmare Before Christmas. Tim Burton never made it. It was actually Henry Selick, but obviously Tim Burton put his name on the poster because it was technically still his idea, but he had no creative decision about it, directing, script writing. He had nothing to do with it, but they still
was he
made
just
it.
a producer or something?
So that's why
that kind of gothic horror.
That's why like people think Coraline's a Tim Burton film because the same art design.
It very visually looks the same. Yes, again, it's that type of like animation they do. Like it's just weird, and it all kind of sticks together. Because if you look at like Jack Skellington, the way he moves is bonkers, and Coraline, you know, I keep calling it Caroline. It's very it's the same thing. But yeah. What about the plot? Then?
Yeah,
I've got more.
I've got more interesting facts. So They Might Be Giants made the song that's played by the mechanical hands. Do you remember that scene? They actually made a whole album based on this film, but it never got released. They actually ended up splitting up before it got released. Beldam is the name of the other mother, like that's her actual name is Beldam, and in French it's means beautiful woman or beautiful mother or beautiful stepmother, depends on the context in which you used it.
That's ironic because she's an cow. Sorry.
Yeah. Mr. Bobinski was a Chernobyl liquidator, so he has a medal. He's like the he's one in the other side, and he's in the circus, and he has a badge on him that is the Chernobyl sign with blood coming down, and it's actually awarded to him for all the help that he did helping Chernobyl get back to like the cleanup, basically.
Holy shit.
So I thought that was quite interesting. There are a few.
Sorry, that's why he's also blue, is because of the radiation. I don't know. Sorry, I didn't know if you had that done, but I was like, okay.
And there are a few Easter eggs. So Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas appears in the other mother's egg yolk, his like face. And the other father's slippers are monkey bone. So the little monkey fella from Monkey Bone. And Coraline was actually meant to be a live action with Dakota Fanning being Coraline. She still voices her in the film, but it was meant to be a live action, which I think would have been a good move. I think it would have been quite good.
I think it would be
And that
fucking
is
terrifying if that had been a live
I
action.
forgot to say, I think it would be tough just because of the gothic art style,
yeah.
what you can do in
Stuff like that
animation.
before, but I was just thinking about like the weird movements and that, like, and how do you train a cat to speak? That'd be really difficult.
Just get Keith David, dress
Just
him as
get
a
Keith
cat.
David in a cat costume.
Yeah.
Now I'm involved. Yeah. Okay,
Taylor
sold.
Swift.
Okay, Jesus, I. Um,
But yeah,
any
so
more
there's
fun?
a lot of famous people in the film. So Terry Hatchett, probably for me, her best known role is Desperate Housewives.
Excuse me,
Um,
Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman is her
yeah,
best known role.
I like how you
She was
say
also in a
role
Bond
for
movie.
maybe to
Desperate
you.
Housewives.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in like all 8
Jennifer
seasons of it.
Saunders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ian McShane was
McShane,
actually
yeah.
Mr.
McShane.
Bobinski. McShane, sorry. Dawn French.
It's so weird that you said Jennifer Saunders, then Ian McShane, then Dawn French. Like French and Saunders, famous comedy duo. But nah, I'm gonna split them up with Ian McShane in the middle of them. Okay, cool. Also, his name's
Yes.
Lovejoy.
Dakota Fanning, obviously I've mentioned her.
Mm-hmm.
But there was just Keith David was the cat.
Love Keith David.
He's quite famous.
He's in literally what he does a lot of voice roles compared to the live action stuff.
He's done so much
Yeah.
stuff for years.
You guys would probably know more of them, but they're the ones that I know,
Yeah.
being the film buff that I am, clearly.
I think the only ones I would know is Ian McShane and Keith David. That's all I know.
Really?
You not know
Yeah.
Dakota Fanning?
No, literally.
Yes, you do. You fucking lying whore.
No, I literally don't. You ginger cunt.
Look, you wee prick. Right. First of all, she's in Hunnels. Right. You absolutely
Where's
do
she
know who
in?
Dakota Fanning is. Give me. Let me
She's
get a
in
list here.
Twilight. She's the little blonde
Yeah, your favourite
vampire
movie,
that
Twilight.
has the.
You little bitch. Okay.
You
Let me
literally
let me
like
look.
an albino right now.
I will do. Yeah. Right. War of the Worlds. She was in. Christ,
Nah.
there's actually so many bad movies there. Jesus, she did. She's got terrible taste in movies.
There we go. See.
Ocean's 8. Haha! Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She played
Oh!
Lynette Squeaky from. There you go.
Who did she play? One of the Manson people?
Lynette's. Yeah, one of the Mansons.
Oh, yeah, that's some guess. Oh yeah, right. Aye, no, I know who you're talking about now.
Okay, there you go. That's who Dakota Fanning is. She's been around for ages, mate. I went to check what age she was there. She's only 30. But I feel like she's been around. I
Yeah,
think there's
she
a
was
few
only
Fannings.
young in War of the Worlds, wasn't she?
Oh, she was. Yeah.
No,
That's a
seen it.
bad movie. You're not missing anything.
Are we
It's
not?
bad.
No, but is that no? I may
It's
be
Tom
wrong with
Cruise.
this. Shyamalan film.
Tom Cruise. No, it's not a Shyamalan film.
What's the one Shyamalan's
Yeah,
in
it's
it
not
with Tom
great.
Cruise?
That's Signs you're thinking of. Signs, the
Or
one
the
with
fingers
That's
under
it.
the doors. That always
Oh
creeped
my
me out
god!
on that film.
War of the Worlds was by Steven Spielberg.
Nah.
Yeah. Right.
Spielberg,
So,
come on.
what did you all think of Coraline?
I thought it was great, yeah. Real creepy, real scary. I thought the other mother was scary. The button eyes things was scary. See, when they're like, we just need to put buttons in your eyes. That's like, what the actual fuck is going on here? Like, and they're like, oh, it wouldn't hurt for much because they're really sharp. And she's like, shut the fuck up. And you're like, oh my goodness. That was pretty mental. And then, like, when she found the little ghost kids, sad. Yeah. It was.
And what are your thoughts on the real mum and dad and them being
Fuck me, they're so
pictured
depressing.
as neglectful? So
Right.
that's like
Child services right away.
That was incredible. Look, every parent has been there, right? Kids hang after you all day, every day, and sometimes you need to get shit done. Like, see if you're painting a room or you're cleaning, and then every 2 minutes, someone's like, "Can I get a sandwich?" All right, cool. Yeah, you get a sandwich. Right, okay, you go back to, I've done a big shit in the toilet and it won't go. Okay, I guess I need to deal with that then, dear. And they always want stuff. Like, and see, sometimes you're like, I'm fucking busy. You're 14. You can make your own tea. So you know, I reckon they should have hit her. Is what they should have done. And locked her in a room.
That's Lee cancelled.
I'm only joking.
No,
I get
we're
what they were
keeping
saying.
that.
Though. They were exhausted from the move. They were very, very busy, and they were not being good parents at that point. But anyone that's a parent can point to parts of their life where they've not been the best parent they can be. It's hard to cater to their every need all the time and still do things like make sure there's electricity in the meter and food in the fridge. Because I think they both said their jobs were very much this thing they were doing, and it kind of sounded like they were under some kind of constraints. So
Yeah.
The Actually, I was going to ask the both of yous this. I know Sally, you watched it with your wins. Did you watch it with your wins, Lee?
absolutely not. I thought it'd be too scary, but it turns out they've watched it already.
Okay. See the when they go to the other world, let's call it, and like they're doing the theater,
Mm,
and like the
Mhm.
old women are like one's a mermaid and the
tempting
one's
fates.
got a tit suit. And I'm like, I don't remember this. What was your thoughts on
The
that?
things that you don't notice as a kid when you watch films.
I mean,
All I thought was like that's some size of titties on that that
old
like that
woman.
little kind of that old lady. To be fair, when she'd met her earlier, I was like that woman's got some chebs going on right there. Like that is pretty mental. But yeah, it's like yeah, it's not like it was nip suit or anything, or
Aye, but it
not
was
that I
like
remember.
this fucking tiny bikini is like still see side
Yeah,
boob.
it was very much like a what the fuck. They were big. It's like yep, that's funny, I guess. You know, they weren't like
Yeah,
sexual in
but
any way, so it was fine.
I think so. I'm of the opinion that you should let your kids watch certain things that might freak them out. So I have let mine watch Coraline. My youngest are 8.
Mhm.
And it was actually my now 11-year-old. I think the first time we watched it was probably 2 years ago. He was the one that was freaked out by
Mm.
it. He hated it. He was like, I never want to watch this film again. That's awful. It scared me. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Because he knew then what is sort of what he liked and what he didn't like because of that. Whereas my daughter, who is just 8, she loves it. She's like, I love this film. It's great. So, but then she likes things like Wednesday
Mm.
and the Addams Family and things like that. So I
Funny you
think
mentioned that
that
style. Hmm.
uh,
I was yeah, keep going. I was gonna say, but you're talking, so I'm shutting up. You keep going.
so I just think it's important to sort of show kids bits and bobs so that they can see what their limits are. Basically, I'm not saying that I'd sit there and show them
Snuff movies,
fucking
obviously. Immediately snuff movies.
yeah.
Yeah.
But even like Chucky or
Mm.
Deadpool and Wolverine, my kids want to see that, but I'm like, I know that my children would repeat the language within the within it,
Well,
and I'm not ready to be like, what?
we actually watched Deadpool versus Wolverine with the kids just recently because out of the three Deadpool movies, I feel like that's the kind of like one with the least sex in it, to be honest.
Yeah,
Which
true.
is that's the one I don't mind the swearing, but like you never notice how much swearing's in a movie till you watch it with your kid. And you're like, man, they say fuck a lot.
Did they
And like
ask about what pagan is?
they did not know. Well,
Thank
see,
God.
there's going to be some words that it uses that they're just not going to know. And it's just going to go over their head because they're like, something will happen immediately after that. Um,
Yeah.
but like you're saying there, Sal, is like we had to. My firstborn, he was always dead sensitive to anything. Like, see, even in cartoons, we'd be watching a cartoon, and Batman would like get hurt, and by hurt I mean he would get knocked over, and he'd be like, "Oh, this is too much. Like, I'm worried about what's going to happen to Batman here," and he'd cry and stuff. And I was like,
Oh.
okay, I guess we're gonna have to really dial back on what he watches because he gets upset when like the goodies are losing. My second kid, no fucks given at all. He's like, yeah, stab Batman. Yeah, you've got him. Get him. Come on, just yeah, you've got him in the ropes. And he is 11. Wednesday he thought was absolutely hilarious. He likes all that kind of stuff. Gore, violence doesn't bother him at all. So it's interesting, like the difference in children. But yeah, so
Yeah.
we're very clever. I've also watched like some horror movies with the younger one that I wouldn't watch with the older one because he would get upset. Like, oh, he doesn't like the humans being ripped apart. But the other was like, see that guy get ripped apart? That was pretty funny, wasn't it? And I was actually going to watch Alien Romulus with my younger son until I remembered the end sequence. Because
Mm.
up until that point, I'm like, he could handle every single part of this, no problem at all. But that ending sequence is like fucked up. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
shit going on. Like I'm not.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's that monster is scary. What it comes from is scary. What it does is creepy, weird, and scary. And that's the only bit I'm like, So if that movie ended like when they do the space station, I'm like, yeah, we should watch this film. But it goes on for another 15 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
you have to wait. Um, but yes, anyway, back to what you said. Yeah, so my younger kid would handle it no problem. And the bigger one, again, he's older now. He's a lot better with stuff. He recognizes things for being like fake. so he doesn't get quite so upset because it's just a story. But yeah, so that was that. Yeah.
What
Anyway,
did
Coraline,
you think of it, Logan?
I liked it. I actually do remember this was weird when I was rewatching it. So I remember watching it when it first came out, and when I was rewatching it again, I was like, I'm not going to really remember anything, but I do remember like pretty much each sequence. Like maybe I got a few wee things I don't remember. Um, I think it's good for a female lead driven story, because I think we at that time I don't think we got a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think it was kind of cool. Of we've got like a female animated cartoon lead, um, delving into
It's
like
not a princess.
so like it's
just
delving
a
into
regular girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
gothic artsy stuff, which when I was watching it myself, I was like, I keep forgetting this is stop motion, like, because I had to search up. I wonder what the behind the scenes were like, and it was obviously like the clay models, like Wallace and Gromit kind of thing.
Mm.
Because there's like wee bits. I'm like, I wonder what parts they used for like CGI, like the way they're cooking the food. Because you got like the wee bubbles and all that sort of stuff. All the wee cool things. Um, I think it was visually well done compared to like the garden scene where you get that long shot of like it's Coraline's face is like it's Coraline's face in the plants, and then you just like pumpkins as the eyes. I thought that's fucking well done for like an animation film. What else was I got to say? Even the spider scene. Sorry, Lee.
Again, real spiders, guys, not pretend
No.
other
Just the word
spiders.
spiders. You're fear of that, right? That's your whole
No, I'm
thing
not
now.
not scared of the concept of spiders, guys. Like I understand. Like I can pick up a house spider and remove it from a house. If a spider was the size of my hand, I'd have a problem with it. That is why the axe is there in case one comes at me.
Fair enough. Well, but anyways, was like see the sequence when it's like the Keith David, the cat, let's call him that, takes the eyes out the other mother, and then the flooring becomes the web. That's kind of cool. Even like when the furniture was like obviously insects, I was like that makes a lot of sense why the furniture was like insect related. So I didn't think of that till what
After the
rewatching it.
spider, yeah. It's the whole thing's really clever, and the way it animates, unbelievable the detail they put into it. Like you can tell why they don't release that many films because they put so much into every one. Just on a point there, like you're saying about the female character, I think that's the thing this studio do, because in Paranorman, which they've done as well, which is also excellent, they have like a kind of gay lead as well, and it's there's the young jock guy and the lady in it. She's like kind of like cozying up to him. He's like, no, I'm gay. And that's always stuck. Because that's really funny. They just fired that one in there. Didn't have to. And they're not even making a statement. It's just that guy is gay, and that's a thing. And they move on from it. I thought, yeah, that's brilliant. That's like how these things should be made. It's like, look what we have. No, that's so yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else in the film that I like. It was just all really good. It's one of those things. I just watched it and thought, this is really good. And at no point took a note or anything. Just watched the whole thing. I should probably watch this film again. But it's only so many hours in a week.
It's a unique art style compared to like your no generic, but Tim Burton style. Like it's no similar, but it is definitely different compared to the way Tim Burton does. Like his one's more dark, but it's still gothic. While this was gothic, but in like a colourful way. I don't know if that kind of makes sense in a way.
No, you see it. It's like you're saying. It's like you've got the bright colours, but there's just the sinister edge to everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was excellent.
Well, the one thing I thought was fucking no, two things was pretty morbid. Was the I don't know what the characters are called. The two grannies. Let's call them grannies. I don't remember their name. They were like sewing up the dog. Like they're trying to get the dog fitted because you'd never know when they're going to croak it. I was like,
yeah, Don
cheers
French
for that.
So yeah, because they have all the dead dogs on the wall, which is like, whoa, that's. Well, we couldn't bear to say goodbye, so we just have them all. I'm like, that must be weird. Okay, continue.
And you also the cat. You see the little mice with the trumpet, and it's like maybe sounding an alarm kind of thing, and it transforms into this big fuck off rat. I was like, that's pretty disturbing. That's fucking disgusting.
He crunches that rat as well, man. Like when the rat's getting away with the eyes, and he just grabs it and just crunches it and just gives it back. You're like, oh, that's the thing that happened. Can I ask what was the other mother? I didn't really pick up. She's just like a being from another like the kind of other dimension. Like, and she's just a weird kind of creepy thing that needs to eat the souls of children, or was it just like an
So
unknowable terror?
she's the ghost children cannot leave because she has captured them, and she's just. I read this the other day, and I've forgotten exactly what it is, but she's basically just the child snatcher of the other world.
Right. Okay.
So anybody that's feeling neglected or unloved by their people, it doesn't even have to be their parents. She sort of preys on that,
Right.
and
Okay.
then she tries. So obviously that's why she comes as the mum and the dad, because Coraline wants to connect with her mum and dad, but her mum and dad are so busy. So that's why she gets shown as the mum and dad. And then once she turns, because the trust isn't there, she's very much like, I'm not sure on this. And sort of holds them at arm's length. She then gets annoyed and turns into her spider self.
Her true
and
form.
tries to, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. No, that's more or less what I was guessing at. I was like, maybe I've missed something here because I know at the beginning they do a weird sequence with, like the robot hands and stuff. I wasn't sure if that was just her making a reality to try and get to Coraline.
So I think it's more just a case of trying to. It's a bit like a kid being snatched by somebody in the street. Look, I've got puppies. Look, I've got sweeties. Oh, look, I've got magic hands that do this. Because that's doing my work, I can spend time with you, sort of thing.
But yeah, it's getting all just kind of feeding into the things that Coraline would have wanted in the first place. Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Super good choice. How much money did it make, Sally?
So the budget was 60 million and it grossed at 125 million.
That's quite a lot for a stop motion, would it not be?
I think it done. Yeah, I mean, it done pretty well. Yeah, that's good. That's them's good dollars.
So
I have a question.
On you.
Right. It's a logistical question. Obviously, it said that it's grossed 125 million. Does that mean to this day, or is that just when it was released?
That'll be the box office, so that'll be like at the cinema.
Okay.
What you'll find is that
how much it is now.
I think you can look that up, but the interesting thing about this is that movies over time will always most movies will make their money back unless they go ridiculously over budget. Because when you factor in like Netflix, it used to be TV deals. Like if you're working on like a 20-year timescale, even a movie that's a flop is eventually going to make its money back and more because you can keep selling it to markets all across the world. So like they've always got like a kind of small return on it, but it can take a long, long time. But I thought it was interesting.
But yeah, that's all of my facts and stuff.
I enjoyed that.
Okay.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh, I don't know what.
Boo! Don't know what.
Yes.
That's
not working this time.
The other one I was going to say with that was, have you guys seen Kubo and the Two Strings?
No.
That is another movie that they've done. I fucking love that movie. I don't know if I can suggest it though, because I cried so much last time I watched it. I don't know if I can handle it emotionally again.
They'll know the same. They'll know the same company did Box Trolls, were they?
They are Box Trolls Paranorman. Sorry, that one. They done also. What was the other one? Corpse Bride, which I'm not too fussed about to be honest, and Missing Link, which I wasn't so keen on either. Which is probably like, Jesus, that one flopped so hard. Holy shit. Missing Link. I'm not going to talk about that though.
I'm sure Paranorman flopped because of Frankenweenie was at the same time.
I think you might be right, mate. Aye.
Because I do remember this when the both of them came out, and to be fair, I got mixed up with two of them. I don't know how, because one's black and white and one's in colour, and one's a bit of D-Dog and one's no. But they came out at the same time, I'm sure.
Looking at older movies, it looks like quite often they don't make money.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't make a lot of money, should I say? Oh, Simi says Kubo's a superb film. So, Paris, we have bad
Suggest it,
taste in
and then we
movies.
will watch it. There you go. Get
Don't know
the
if I'm emotionally
audience
ready for it, man. It's so
thinking.
sad. It's great though. Also got a big cast. Like it's Charlize Theron and like yeah, all right, yeah, and Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
hmm Anyway,
Well,
continue.
um, should we go to our next film?
The worst of the
Fuck
movies, yes.
you. You picked the worst film so
I picked
far.
an excellent, almost Oscar winning movie with many stars in it. It was good and well regarded critically.
If you say so. So, our last film of the night was Halloween. But not only just Halloween, but this was the original. The best one out of a lot of them. I've lost my train of thought there because I've just realised how good
Yeah, the original
Halloween
Halloween,
is.
best one. Well, yeah.
Is obviously about Michael Myers, how he becomes this nutcase of a psycho killer. Would you want to call him that? Oh, let's call him
Michael
that.
Killer. Yeah, he's a
Who
bad
obviously
man.
chases down Laurie Strode's, which I don't think at the time we knew why it was Laurie Strode's.
I think that they changed it later on, didn't they? They added that information as
So
like a retcon.
the other timelines, I think there's about 3-4 timelines now to this date. One of the timelines is Laurie Strode was his sister, his stepsister, something like that. But this one
Mm.
is just randomness. So obviously, I'll just get to down to the basics why it was so good, and I think the reason why I think it's so good is because one, it's eerie. There's no lot of background There's no lot of background story. There's also hold on, I wrote this all down, and I'm losing my train of thought. Yet. It does well with POV shots, like even the intro on like you're the point of view of Michael Myers, like how he became a killer. Also, that opening shot took about 2 days to film.
Really?
Aye, because I think they had started to have problems with the cutout, where like obviously like Michael Myers is maybe wearing a clown mask, but obviously it's like the cutout of the eye holes. So yeah, that took about 2 days to film. Also another fun fact. I mean, I feel like everybody's got to know this one is like Michael Myers' mask was originally the William Shatner mask, just painted
Yeah.
white, and the hair was dyed black, brownish.
And they also widened the eye holes as well.
So they did eye. No, was it no the cut the eye holes a bit wider?
Well, that's what widened eye holes would mean, Logan.
I
Yes.
thought you said blacked them out.
No, I said widened the eye
Oh.
holes.
Shut the fuck up, Lee. Before you don't like this one. It's minimal. This is another thing that I kind of liked. It's it's a minimal approach to a horror film.
Easy for you to say.
Excuse me.
I said easy for you to say
What? Hey, get on.
because you struggled with the words, so I meant, but never mind.
Your jokes are shit, man. Also, Donald.
Goodness sake.
Donald Pleasance. He only got paid 20,000, but how many days did he actually was on set?
Oh, I looked this up in the trivia today. Was it not like 10 or something? 20? No, it was a 20-day shoot. So it can't be on. Do you know?
3.
5 days.
Ah.
So close. I want a job where I can get paid 20 grand for working 5 days.
Don't we
okay,
all?
OnlyFans.
Yeah. Get your feet out and there you go. No in this stream though.
Nobody wants to see my feet.
There was also, I didn't realise this. I don't know how many times I've actually seen this film, but see the ending. So like, see when Michael Myers actually gets involved with Laurie Strode, like attacking her. See, if you think about it, he like actually, he gets every room gets smaller when she's getting chased. So the living room. No, sorry. Let's start with like the outside. So obviously the outside's massive. The living room, and then it goes to the bedroom, and then into the closet to make it more claustrophobic for the audience, which I didn't really realise. And I think the also thing they actually do well is sound effects. So see how the sound of the stabbing, that was actually just watermelons. They just kept stabbing watermelons, and that's how it got the audio for that.
Mm-hmm.
Even the point of view when you just hear Michael Myers' breathing. I mean, that was such a cool effect. I was like, oh my god, I can hear him breathe through a mask.
I think with the Halloween movies, it started so many tropes. Like, although I'm saying I didn't like the movie, if you look at it, you can see the genesis of everything that came after it. Because it's like, well, this is how he came up with these ideas, and then people picked up these ideas and ran with them and improved them and then built upon them.
Mhm.
So you can see all that with everything he does. I'll tell you one thing that was weird in that movie, which they got rid of in later movies. Did you find it weird that he was driving around in a car?
Aye, so
Yeah.
because even
It's
Dr.
like,
Loomis is
Considering
like,
he'd spent all
yeah, I don't even
all
mean
his
like he knew how to drive a
childhood
car. I
and
just mean
stuff.
like imagine if you seen like Jason Voorhees just get inside like a station wagon and just drive it, like just using the gear stick and that, like stopping at stoplights, like has to go to a
I
petrol
guess it
station and
would
fill up.
be.
You're like, I feel like that's just weird. But like obviously because he wasn't a supernatural entity in any way
mhm,
in that film. He was just a guy.
aye,
Um,
Yeah.
because he says he's just like because Loomis goes, oh, he's evil, he's pure evil, man. But he's just a bloke. Which I just thought that was, and Carpenter says that in a lot of interviews. He's like, yeah, I never thought of him as like a demon or anything. He's just like a man
yeah.
who's a mental case in a mask that stabs people. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But just that was the one thing I had to mention about the car thing because
Well,
I just
speaking of
that's
the
weird.
car
It's
bit,
like seeing Freddy Krueger in a car.
there was a little mistake. Well, not a mistake, but you can clearly see it. Is see when Michael Myers is like bashing the window on the station
Mm.
wagon. They actually spray painted a wrench flesh colour to make it look like, oh, it's just Michael's hand that actually smashed the window, which I thought was
Ah,
kind of cool. Because I was
that's
watching it, I
very
was like,
clever.
that's a wrench.
I would never even notice. It just was so quick, bang straight into it.
Because I feel like any the actual Halloween films, you always get some. Maybe it's just me because I like the actual world, the Halloween, I guess. Like even I want to say Halloween 5, and for some reason they edit the Michael Myers mask. So 1 second it's got blonde hair, then the other second it's got brown hair, and it was such a weird thing they done with that film.
When was it they made Michael giant? When do you know? Like when they made him like he's always in the later films. He's like a wrestler. He's huge. Did
Um,
that come in later on?
the I would say the Rob's. You would talk about the Rob Zombie ones because he was like massive in that.
I know. Yeah, in those films he was like fucking the Undertaker. But I mean like
Aye,
because you've got 1 and 2, which I assume he was a regular sized guy.
aye.
Three's a different thing entirely.
Mhm.
And then there was like 4, 5, 6, and 7, which are just crazy
I
bonkers.
would say
And then they rebooted the
4.
whole thing.
Aye, because then they kind of made it like Laurie Strode was the sister, and then he was going after to kill his niece in the fourth
Hmm.
film, and it was like a bit all over the place.
Yeah. I'm assuming what happened was Friday the 13th came out, and because Jason was such a big imposing guy, they
Mhm.
switched Michael Myers to because they just kind of copy things in those kind of films. I was just interested if it was like a specific point they just got rid of it because the guy that played Michael Myers in the first one, I looked him up. He's like 5'10", 5'11", and he's
Nick
not like a big
Castle,
massive guy. Nick Castle, that's
yeah,
it. Yeah. And he's like a writer as well because he wrote some horror movies as well, didn't he?
aye. He also came back to play Michael Myers for the
Yes.
new trilogy, which I
He's
loved it.
because they have him like in like just chained up in the middle of like the edit as like just an old man.
Yeah.
Um, and then puts on the suit, and all of a sudden he's quick again, I guess.
Well, I didn't know what the story was actually based off of. So, John Carpenter said he had an
Oh, I don't
experience
know.
during a college touring at a psychiatric hospital. Carpenter met a child who stared at him with a look of evil, and he terrified me.
Yeah, I did. I read that one. Thought I was pretty fucked up. Yeah.
So I have never seen a Halloween film before until this one. So this is the only one that I've watched,
Hold
and
on.
This is
You have lived
surprising.
I
your
didn't like it.
entire life and have never seen any of the Halloween movies. It has
Nope.
been rebooted
4
three
times now.
times,
4
4
times.
times.
Yeah,
Because you had the original
never
1 to
seen.
7.
I knew the mask and everything,
Mhm.
Hmm.
but like I've never seen the Jason films. I've never
I've not
seen
seen them.
Cable Guy.
Wait, hold on. Cable Guy is a Jim Carrey comedy.
Right, it's a dark comedy, but
Wrong
it's
one
also a
then.
very famous film. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh, I thought you were just like saying things. Like, I've never seen The Godfather. I think that's weird.
Oh wait, I thought we were
I've
talking
never
about
seen that either.
horror films in
No,
general.
who's the one with the pins in
Hellraiser.
his head?
Oh, Hellraiser. The
Yeah, I've
cable
not
guy?
seen that one.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Cable Guy, Hellraiser, they're basically the same movie. Brilliant. I'd love to
not
see
seen
Jim
that one
Carrey
either.
as fucking the Cenobite. That'd be amazing. Oh, just comes in. Hey, I'm the Cenobite. Like, settle down, Jim. Okay, that's brilliant. Yeah, okay, cool. So anyway, back to what we're doing. Hellraiser. I'll tell you one thing. The Hellraiser movies, from what I remember, were scary. Like, see when they were doing like all their Hellraiser shit. I mean, I remember that scaring the piss out of me when I was a young man.
They actually remade that, I know. And now it's a female
Yeah.
Hellraiser.
Mm.
She's got
Of course it is.
big needles.
Big pin titties.
Let's
I'm
hope they're
sure.
not pin ones.
Hmm. I knew there was a new one. It was it's not quite low budget.
I think so.
I mean, whatever. Yeah. So anyway, back to the Halloween movie. Like, so Sally, you'd never seen any Halloweens, just no desire to, not your thing, or
I don't know. I don't think I thought that they would be scary, so I didn't really watch them. And because I've spent so long on my own, I don't particularly like watching horror films. Where I live in the countryside, the thought of like opening my curtains or something and someone's just stood there, I'm like, maybe not.
I can get that.
And
That
I've
makes sense.
I've got quite an overactive imagination, so it just didn't sort of mix well with me. And then growing up, like early teens and stuff, I was more interested in being out in my car, driving about, seeing who was about and things like that. So I didn't really spend a lot of time in. And then being an early teen, like sort of 14, 15, I was out drinking with my mates. So but it wasn't in watching films. It's only since being a mum that I've really started watching films, and horror films and mum life don't really.
So basically, what she's saying is, me and Lee were gimps when we were young.
Well, fairness,
Yeah,
like I mean, I
pretty
lived you accidentally watch these movies when you're a kid because, like, again, I always say this: you put on Channel 4, it's a Sunday, and then it'd be like Halloween or some shit would be on, and you just watch Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, I'd sit up late, and there'd always be like a horror movie on, so I watched a lot of the Friday the 13th based on the fact that they were on, and I was like, I always sat up too late, so I'd end up watching all this shit. But like, I didn't really so much seek them out, but like, you just absorb them because there was only like 5 channels if you're lucky for me to watch. So that's what my options were.
What was what was the Bayfees for your first horror you've ever watched? If you remember.
I think mine would have been Jeepers Creepers, the first one.
Wow. I remember watching Jeepers Creepers, but like the first, like, are you horror or slasher movie?
Both then. I'd say both.
I'd probably be Friday the 13th, probably the third one, Dream Warriors, because I think my brother had that on video, and I remember watching that one a few times, because I liked the idea of like they could fight Freddy in their dreams, but I was real scared of Freddy Krueger. Oh, fuck off. Ultra Violent Experimentation, best viewers on streamboo.com. Ban that person. Whatever.
Yeah, but I used to watch stuff like Buffy the Vampire Slayer when I was young, and Charmed. So I would still get like in Charmed as a kid. Now you watch it and it's shit, but as a kid you watch it and they've got like demons and vampires and all that, and you're like, fuck, this is a bit weird. And I was really into that sort of stuff. I did like it. So naturally you would think that my next progression would be horror films.
Right.
But just never had any desire really to sit and watch them, especially not on my own. So...
I watched Buffy was like my jam, but like I was one of the very few kids at my school that watched Buffy, which I thought was weird because it was like such a massive show, but
Mhm.
like people seem to be afraid to like kind of things like that, so they just wouldn't watch them.
Mhm.
Buffy was
Yeah.
great, yeah. Yeah, horror movies were never a thing, and then as I got older, like see horror movies these days, they're not actually aimed at adults. Teenage girls is your market for horror movies. That's who watches horror movies. Because like your
Yeah.
paranormal activity, all that stuff. It's jump scares and it's not a good film. It's always weird when you watch when you're like, oh, that was actually all right. But like the majority of them are just they're not made for me.
It,
So yeah.
I would rather watch or listen to true crime
Of
podcasts
course you do.
or like true crime
Oh, I can't watch this movie
I'm
because
not
it's
true
too
surprised.
crime
scary.
stuff.
I'm gonna watch about this guy that went out into the countryside and killed people instead for real. Because that's much less
Yeah.
scary.
But I am intrigued to watch this new Anna Kendrick film on Netflix. The one, what's it called? The Woman of the Hour or something, I think it is. What's it called? Yeah, Woman of the Hour, and it's about a girl that went on a dating show, and she met this guy, and he turned out to be like a serial killer,
Oh,
and
sorry.
it looks really good. It's on Netflix. And it just looks really good. And apparently, the way that because she's directed it, it's her first. Is it directed or produced? What has she done?
I was actually taught about something similar like this. I don't know if you remember the story about a lassie went on a Tinder date. This was a true story, by the way. And she went with this guy, and they were kissing that, and then the next day she got like some rash on her face, and she went to doctors for it to get
Yes.
cream, and it was it turns out you can only get a certain type of rash from
Oh,
eating
dead ones.
humans,
Yeah.
and it was, and she was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? So yeah, the guy was like a cannibal and all this. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I've heard that
So
story before.
don't go on Tinder.
yeah. So this. So this film is Anna Kendrick's debut of directing,
Mhm.
and she does it from a woman's point of view. So everything that women, so like, do you remember me talking about getting the dog, and you were like, I've never thought about the reasons that you're getting a dog.
Mhm.
And it's like, yeah, that's because I'm a woman. So I'm going to think completely differently because I'm protecting myself more often than not from the male species.
Yeah.
So
You're the most pussy thing you
this
come into
was
contact with.
so she's based this on like women's fears and the red flags that women see, that they think, shit, I am now in a position where I cannot like move, but if he does this maneuver, I'm then going to do this. And it's like, whereas most films don't show that because they're depicted by men and they don't know the fears that we live with on a daily basis. So I'm really interested in watching this film. I really want to. I think I just think it would be an interesting thing because a lot of the horror films and stuff are based from men's point of views and not women's. And so when you're running away from the man, you're going, oh no, ah. Whereas I think most women are that sat there going, how the fuck can I overpower him because he's much more stronger than I am? What am I going to do? Not scream for help because nobody comes running, but you scream fire and loads of people come running.
Yeah, I've heard that one before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's pull it back till we finish Halloween. See, oh, what was it? Those oh my god, what am I saying now? Oh, the budget. So this was a 300,000 budget over a 20 day shoot. That's that's pretty hectic. Because to me, and they were shooting this during June, July time, so this wasn't even during autumn. So they were getting like a lot of extras to just dress up, in Halloween costumes and that. And I think John Carpenter had like a big bag of like autumn leaves or something.
That was the fun fact I was going to tell you. They basically had one big, they had like a few bags of like leaves, and for every scene they had to throw all the leaves out to make it look like autumn. But all the trees are green. But like they just had to throw all these leaves to make it like the ground's got covered in leaves. Then they had to pick them all up and then move them and then put them all out again. Also, none of the actors, they didn't have a wardrobe department, so none of the actors were like you had to just turn up and whatever you're wearing, that's what you dressed. Because
Mhm.
Jamie Lee Curtis talks about how she just went and bought like her clothes for $100, and then that's what she was dressed as. She was also the only teenager in her friend group. They were all in their 20s, and she was 19 when
Yeah.
they shot it. But to be fair, Jamie Lee
Was
Curtis
this
looked
her
like
big
she was.
break?
Say it again.
Was this her big break?
Aye.
She'd been in a sitcom before that. Plus, her dad was Tony Curtis, and her mum was the lady from Psycho. So, I mean, she was kind of destined to be famous. But yeah, kind of. I mean, this
Okay.
was a movie that she's well known for. That's why she's went back to it so many times as well.
How many times is that now? Three times?
She'll be in it a minimum of. Well, she was in 1 and 2, I think. Was she in 2?
Aye. And then she was
And
in
then
it
she was in
for
H2O.
H2O, then the new trilogy, so 3 times.
Aye. At least, aye. So, I mean, she's went back to it. Yeah, she's like, she knows where her money's been. I mean, she's always been like a kind of scream queen, so. And like, she's
Yeah.
also not daft. It's like, well, you're going to pay me, I'm going to turn up.
Mhm.
Like, unfortunately, women don't. Hollywood doesn't hire women her age for anything. You know, that's actually what I was going to say. Old women don't get hired for anything. In the movie, the best movie we watched tonight, which of course was History of Violence, the mum was 11 years older than the son, which I thought that was really funny. But
What in History
whatever.
of Violence?
History of Violence, yeah, her son, the guy playing her son was 11 years younger than the mum. There's not much between them at all. I just don't know. There you go.
So, Sarah, what was your overall with Halloween?
I won't watch it again. It was nice. It was a film to watch to pass the time.
You wouldn't watch it again?
Sorry. No.
What the fuck, man?
There's nothing you can watch in the original Halloween movie. Now, I'm glad that movie exists and I can see what it led to. But you could go and watch 30 movies that are better than that now because they've seen it and went, okay, here's how we can make it better. Like, if you want a slasher movie, there's 100 better slasher movies to watch.
Name
Where
a
like
better
there's more,
slasher
more
movie.
there's more villains. Name a better slasher movie. How about any? The Krampus one, the one where like Krampus is like the slasher Christmas thing.
That's a Christmas film, mate.
It's Krampus.
Still a slasher movie, mate. Absolutely counts as a slasher movie. And what's the body count in Halloween?
I think he's a virgin in it, mate, but I don't know.
3, mate. He kills 3 people. If you want to watch a movie where people get fucked up, you don't watch a movie where 3 people die. Freddy versus Jason is a better slasher movie than that.
Is it fuck?
Oh, that's so much fun, that movie.
No, it's
13
not.
ghosts. How many people do they kill?
Oh, they fuck up at least 13 because they're ghosts.
But
Exactly.
Patrick Swayze one?
No.
Ghosts.
13 ghosts, not
a slasher
ghosts.
movie.
I was like, Patrick Swayze kills?
That's a very different movie, yeah.
No, that's Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
So, why do you not like it, Lee?
It's not I don't like it, it's just that, like, I respect what it is and what it done and what it led to. Oh, you never even mentioned the fact that the Thing was in it.
What do you mean?
The Thing.
And when they're sitting watching the monster movie they're watching is The Thing. Because it comes up and it's the proper Thing title. Like, oh, there's The Thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's weird.
I never realised that.
And my brain was like, this movie came out first, so I went and Googled it. And that's the original title of the original Thing from Another World.
Right.
But he just reused that for when he remade The Thing, which I thought was great.
So was he in works at the same time for The Thing, or was it just because he liked?
Just something he loved the movie, and it's something he was like thinking about, but he didn't do it for another 4 years after that.
That's
movie came out.
amazing.
Yeah, so that's like it all ties together in the Carpenterverse.
Because this was his kind of big break of a film as well. Because he'd done something before it, but didn't take off.
Yeah, he done something that got him noticed, and this was kind of his thing to prove he could make money. But yeah.
So how much did it make?
This made
done really well.
This made 47 million, and this is just the US box office. But I don't know why I wrote this in, but in 2008 takings, that would be equivalent of 150 million, making Halloween one of the most successful independent films of all time.
Adjusted for inflation, it basically made this is when the studios learned that you can make cheap horror movies that people will go and see and make. But that's why to this day you still get these movies that are made for like 2, 5, 10, 15 million because they know it's guaranteed 80 million at the box office because you just punt them out in October and folk will watch them.
Saw is a perfect example because they're dirt cheap. to make, and they make a lot of money for them.
What's that?
That's why there's so many of them.
Yeah. That's why you could argue now that the market's kind of flooded with them because they know there's an audience for this. If you can make it for less than this amount,
Mm-hmm.
you can sell it to one of the horror streaming services and you'll get this. So it's like basically, we need $50,000, we need this many actors, cabin in the woods, killer turns up and kills him, story done. Sell it to the horror network and that's it. You'll make whatever 100,000. That's it. It's a weird thing, but yeah.
Oh,
Also, that was
and
cool.
John Carpenter done the score, so he done the theme song for Halloween, which I think is so cool.
Carpenter usually scores his movies, edits his movies, directs his movies, chopped, shot, and edited. He'll always say, but yeah, he done a lot. As his career went on, he didn't do quite as much, but yeah, he was kind of famous for doing everything. That's why he was a lot cheaper than a lot of people because he would do all the work. He was doing the work of three men. So I'm trying to think
So, are we
Gotta love
doing
the
the
art.
thumb thing now?
so. Well, bump.
What the fuck? Ah, they've done it. Sally, you literally message says, "Oh, I like Halloween," and now you've backstabbed me.
No, it's not that I liked it. It was like I've watched it, so I've actually paid attention and everything. It was all right. I'm
That's
not
all
saying
good.
that I absolutely hated it, but it just wasn't. It wasn't gripping. Like a bit like Lee, I would scroll on my phone whilst watching it because it wasn't gripping my attention.
I did go and do the dishes while Halloween was on. Right,
Yous
just
have
to clarify.
yous
Like
have
I was
hurt my
gonna halfway
feelings.
through it, forgot I was watching it for the podcast, went and done the dishes, came back and was like, I'll rewind a few minutes, but I'm not rewinding back to where I was. So and nobody had died at that point. There was a lot of Mike Myers kills a dog in it.
So he does, yeah.
He does. I meant to mention it earlier because you don't see dogs die. And the reason he done it is because he wanted people to be able to have no sympathy for Michael Myers at all. He wanted nothing relatable about him, and they actually continue that through the whole series. There's one in the remake of it. You might remember, well, Sally won't, but Logan, you might. Danny Trejo's in it, and Danny Trejo's shown that he gives him comics and he gives him
Oh,
sweeties and goodies.
aye.
And it's he's done it for years. And he's kind of always looked out for him in that.
Mhm.
And then when he gets out, the first thing he does is kill Danny Trejo. And Danny Trejo's like, Mikey, I was always good to you. Why are you doing that? And he kills him. And that's again to show you that he's just got nothing. There's not any good part of him. He's not even letting the guy that was good to him live. It's like, fuck
That's
this. So, yeah.
that was the Rob Zombie one.
That was the Rob Zombie one, yeah.
Because there's the other security guard was the one of the prisoners in The Walking Dead.
Oh.
That's the one that fancies Carol. Don't know if you remember him. Big southern guy.
I'd have to look at it. I'd have to see a picture. But yeah, I thought that was really clever for the film, just to make sure he had no redeeming qualities. Didn't even just kick the dog to no, killed it.
Mhm.
And I thought that was clever, just to make your evil guy nothing good about him at all. Yeah, that was cool. So I just thought I'd throw that one in there because I thought that I was like,
Mhm.
that's good. That's good writing and directing there. Anyway,
Have you got any other facts or information about the film?
I think that's us, to be fair. Because, I mean, Halloween's probably one of the most knowledgeable films out there to this date.
It is a hard one to talk about because people that know movies know about Halloween.
Aye.
Even when I was reading the facts, I'm like, I know all this.
Yeah. So it's quite a hard one to get out the facts with everything it knows. But also there is actually a museum of I think it's in Alabama, and it's just some guy's house, and they've got the original art pieces and all that for Halloween, and they've got a guy dressed up as
Is
Mike
it
Myers just outside the front garden.
based off a true story or anything?
No, just about the wee boy in the psychiatric ward. That was the only reason why it was based off it.
And again, it started. I don't know if it started a genre, but it certainly popularized the genre of movies. It kind of created the slasher movies
pretty much
as they are known now. But again, by today's standard, it's pretty tame and it's pretty boring, and there's not really much. There's not much killing going on, and it's not as ridiculously gory either. But yeah, there you go.
But I mean, to be fair, would you not count it as a realistic no real realistic, but like it's kinda, I like kinda is real in a way.
What you mean? It's like based like this seems like a realistic thing because not much happens, or
I like think about it as this way, like see if you seen this in the papers, like you could see this happening.
extent. It's yeah. It's not like ridiculous. It's not over the top. Like that seems to be the whole point. Also, like again, he travels around in a car.
Hmm.
Like he sneaks up on people to kill them. He doesn't just like go over and just overpower them. Like when he gets stabbed, he goes down. That kind of stuff.
Aye.
He doesn't seem like some
One of the
unstoppable demon.
things
Mhm.
one of the things I thought was a bit weird was Laurie, is it Laurie?
Aye.
Sending the little boy that she's babysitting to go get help. And I'm like, so you're going to send the kid out who's like, what, 9 or 10 to go and get help? Are you kidding me? And
I
I
mean,
was just like, that's
I don't know if she's sending him out or just
crazy.
sending him away. Like if I send him, maybe he'll chase me, or she's like, chase him, Michael. Make
Yeah.
lots of noise when you're running away. Try and sound like a teenage girl.
That's what it came across as. Like, she wasn't protecting her. She wasn't protecting him. She was protecting herself.
Hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Was
No,
there
it's-
more or less nudity than you expected in that movie? No, there was some titties in it.
Oh yeah, there
Um,
wasn't there? I mean, I always expect some sort of nudity in sort of scary films and stuff. For some reason, that seems to be a thing. I don't know
yeah,
why. Maybe it's a
the,
vulnerability thing. You look
that
more
makes
vulnerable
sense.
if you're naked.
Yeah, that's
But
very
yeah.
true. Yeah, because he stabs his sister when she's like just in her room, just brushing her hair in the buff. And then later
as
That
on,
you
was weird.
as
That's
you
like, there's
do.
no way I'd. Yeah.
sit in your room with the door open, brushing your
Nothing but
hair,
your pants
your chebs just
with
flapping
your
about.
little brother running around. Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
I mean, even just for comfort, you'd think you just like a house coat on or something.
Mm.
There you go.
Especially
That's
with
fine.
it being autumn.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it
That's
was
true.
yeah. So that was weird.
The one
So
thing, the one thing I always laugh at, and I think it's just because it kind of resembles or something. Is like see when they get stabbed and like Laurie's like in the doorway and she's like greeting and you just see him kind of just he sits up,
so
but
yeah.
the way he does it just reminds me of the Undertaker because it's the same way the Undertaker just
Well,
pops
where do
up.
you think the Undertaker got that from?
Is that where he got that for?
Of course, it's where he got it from.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought, oh,
Well, either he went forward in time and seen the Undertaker do it, or the Undertaker seen him do it. Because the Undertaker was the dead man, wasn't he? He was the unstoppable
yeah, yeah,
demon for hell. So yeah, it was always the just to sit straight up, which is it was a good choice to do that. It's funny we finished talking about Halloween, then we remembered a bunch of stuff about Halloween and talked about it some more.
yeah. I know it's weird.
Uh,
But
anyway,
I think we should wrap up here for anyway.
that sounds good to me, mate.
Um,
I actually haven't thought of a film to watch next time because I don't feel like I want to do Eastern Promise if you've hated History of Violence because they're similar movies. I don't want to do Cuba and the Two Strings because it's real sad. So can I think about mine and I'll throw it into the group chat.
yeah. What about you, Sally?
Yeah. I'm gonna pick Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's us.
I've
Got
not
me.
seen it, but I've heard good things.
Okay, I can't wait to watch
Wait,
that
is that the
fucking
one I
movie.
got confused with the
The
last?
Jim Carrey movie. Jim Carrey and
Jim
some
Carrey,
bald
Kate
Oh
woman.
no,
Winslet.
that's a good film.
They get their minds wiped all the time and then stuff happens. Oh, can I pick another John Carpenter film then?
If you want,
Escape from New York.
okay. Mine
Kurt
is
Russell at his sexiest.
is since we're kind of coming up with the Thanksgiving eight holiday. I'm gonna pick Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, it's a fun movie.
I love that, so I'm like, I have
Okay,
so
I'm
much to talk about.
excited about precisely two of these movies.
so
Eternal Sunshine. I can't be bothered. Oh, hopefully I'm going to like it this time round. I don't expect it though. But yeah,
Sally, you seen these films?
Sally's getting forced to watch an action movie, a comedy, and then the film she wants to watch.
The Holy Trinity, we're doing this.
That's funny. Oh,
Well,
oh,
thank you for watching. Also,
Sim.
our social media.
Sim. Thanks for watching Sim and also the guys that are trying to sell us viewers.
Yeah, and people are gonna watch us later on, hopefully.
That's true. Or listen to us.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Happy Halloween.